Okay, let's pull back the curtain on one of the most important and honestly, most confusing systems in your entire house, your HVAC. We're going to break it all down so you can finally understand what's happening inside that big metal box and, more importantly, how to know when it's crying for help.
So, let's start with a little question for you. What do you think is the single most important machine you own? Really think about it. Is it your fridge, your car, maybe your phone? Well, the answer is probably the one machine you never ever think about until it quits on you. And you know it's always going to be on the hottest, stickiest day of the summer or the absolute coldest night of the winter. Yep, we're talking about your heating, ventilation, and air conditioning system. And that's exactly how we're going to look at it today. Not as just an appliance, but as your home's unseen hero. It's just silent guardian, just quietly working in the background, keeping you and your family comfortable.
I mean, this thing is fighting a battle for you 24/7. It never stops. It's constantly pushing back against the brutal heat and the bitter cold. It's a tough, thankless job. But what exactly is it fighting against?
Well, its number one enemy is the climate, the weather itself. Your HVAC system is basically in a never-ending war with the very environment outside your door. And just look at what it's up against. You've got summer humidity that gets over 70%, which forces your AC to run nonstop. Then, bam, winter hits with temps dropping below 20 degrees, pushing your furnace to its absolute limit. You've got these stressful freeze-thaw cycles that crack everything, and even the ground, the shifting clay soil, can literally tear your ductwork apart. All that humidity? It's just accelerating rust. It's a full-on assault.
So you know when this hero starts to lose that battle, it sends out distress signals. And learning to read these signals, well, that's the key to stopping a little problem from turning into an absolute disaster.
Okay, signal number one, and it's the most obvious. You crank on the AC and all you get is lukewarm air blowing in your face. Ugh, that's a huge red flag. It could be anything from a refrigerant leak to a busted compressor. Next up, weird noises. You know, that clanking, squealing, or rattling sound. That's not just your house settling. That's the sound of mechanical parts screaming for help. It's literally your system telling you, hey, something in here is broken or about to break. And then, the smells. Don't ignore these. If you get a musty, dirty sock smell, you could be looking at mold growing in your vents. A burning smell? Whoa, that could be a serious electrical problem. Trust your nose on this one. And finally, there's a more subtle sign. You've got one room that feels like a sauna and another that's an icebox. A lot of the time, that's a problem with your ductwork. Air is leaking out, which means your system has to work 30 or even 40% harder just to do its job. It's incredibly inefficient. So, when you see any of these signs, it is absolutely time to call in a professional. But how do you know you're getting a real expert? What does a true pro's playbook even look like? A real pro is so much more than just a person with a wrench. They should be EPA certified, which is a big deal for handling refrigerants. They should have tons of experience. We're talking 12+ years, meaning they've seen pretty much everything. And here's the crucial part. They find the root cause, not just slap a Band-Aid on the symptom. They show up ready to work with a truck full of parts, and they talk to you clearly about what's wrong. The process itself should be super simple. No smoke and mirrors. Step 1, you call. They dispatch. Step 2, and this is the most important one, they diagnose the actual problem and give you a firm, clear price. And only after you say yes do they move to step 3, doing the repair and then testing everything to make sure it works. Now, this right here is a really big deal, how you get billed. With flat rate pricing, you know the total cost before any work starts. That's it. The price is the price. With hourly charges, though, you're rolling the dice. If the tech is slow or runs into a problem, that bill can just keep climbing. Flat rate pricing protects you. It's that simple. All right, now for the million-dollar question. Or at least the several $1,000 question. Your system is getting old, the repair is expensive. Do you keep fixing it, or is it finally time to replace the whole thing? This is it. This is that moment of truth every homeowner dreads. It's a huge financial decision, and making the wrong choice can cost you a ton of money down the road. So how do you figure out the right move? Well, there's a really handy guideline called the $5,000 rule. It's just a simple piece of math to help you see things clearly. All you do is take the age of your system, in years, and multiply it by the cost of the repair. Let me show you how it works. So let's say your system is 12 years old, and the repair quote is $500. You just multiply 12 times 500, and what do you get? $6,000. Because that number is over the $5,000 threshold, the rule suggests that, financially, it makes more sense to replace it.
And this really makes sense when you step back and look at the big picture. Your typical HVAC system has a lifespan of about 15 to 20 years. So if yours is already over a decade old and keeps breaking down, you're probably just throwing good money after bad. A new, more efficient system really is the smarter long-term investment.
So, let's end with this question, just for you. After all this, how are you feeling about your system? Is your home's unseen hero actually ready for that next crazy heat wave or that deep freeze? Because when it comes to your comfort, being prepared is always, always better than being caught by surprise. Thanks for tuning in.